Sunday Sharpe, do 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 do. Sunday Sharpe, do 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 do. Sunday Sharpe, do 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 do. Ooh, wait for some people to come in now, I guess. Before I start waffling about anything actually worth saying. Ah, we have someone. I was going to say we had a thumbs up, but no people, which is kind of strange. Hello, hello, whoever you are. Welcome to more Sunday ramblings and weirdness. As Sharpie tries to stay awake. Ah, Captain Savage. Greetings. How are you, sir? Assuming male. Captain Savage. Shouldn't do that, I suppose, but hey, I'm old and broken and crap. So, yeah, you get what you get. I am what I am. I am my own special creation and all that jazz. Here we go. People starting to roll in now. Yes, I'm all right. It's just every other bugger. Stock reply there. Yeah, so where are we this week? Well, we're in the same place as usual. Computer's a bit on the huff. And I've got some food in front. Afternoon, Robert. Oh, just got to move that out of the way. We can't be hiding his lordship up. Oh, there we go. So, obviously, fishtoberfest in America this weekend, not in the UK. Not that I'd probably go anyway, especially given current finances and the fact that all my tanks are basically full. So, yes, this week I got some of the last fish that I needed. Well, I say needed. You don't need more fish. You always want more fish. It literally leaves one fish to get. It's only about that big, but never mind. So what has been going on in the old Sharpie's fish room this week? Hello, Lisa. Oh dear, rearranging dining room. Rather you than me. Welcome to what should be my dining room. Yeah. So this week, the only things that happened really, because we had no births, well, yeah, that's a lie. We have had some births. No deaths this week, which is a bonus, always is. The Skiffia multi-punk tartar have gone from that little tank there into the Fluval Flex with their new tank mates. Stevie P, yo, yo, yo. Everyone else is happy over here. We've got little dude of Pisto growing out in there, doing his quarantini with like 60 odd mollies. Had another spawn of shelly dwellies in there, the Neolamplogus similis, and somewhere in here hiding, yeah, both hiding, which should tell you what they are. It's a pair of, get it right, lemon blue-eyed bristlenoses, a male and a female. So hopefully once they get a bit bigger, we can breed those as well. Yeah, so hopefully 3 different colours of breeding pairs of bristlenoses. Well, once Fred and Ginger figure out what they're doing anyway. No, Ginger knows what she's doing. Fred's just got to figure it out. New table to fit in, strong enough to hold another 10-gallon tank. Ah, bonus. More tanks is always a good thing. Although the 64-litre panorama is on sale at the moment for 100, Lisa. You know? And it's that time of day on a Sunday where we break into a daddy ball. Ooh, and burp. So yeah, I think that's about all that's happening fishy wise this week. Well, I mean, hopefully no random colours, Lisa. As we know, Spotty and Bertie is just down there. She may be the sunshine bristlenose, but with Spotty being standard, all the babies come out black. The only randomness we should get would be from Fred and Ginger, which would be whether we get, or just how many long fin super reds we get and how many normal long super reds we get. If these guys come out of hiding, you might get to see one of them. Let's see what we can do. Yeah, there we go. Right, I've got to remember to do this in such a way. Where are they? You can just see one on the back of a piece of wood, and the other one is underneath a piece of fake coral. And we have lots of snabies in there as well. Steve P is replacing his dining room table with 2 racks. Wow. I don't know if you can see through the algae on the glass, but yeah, there are more shellies in there now. Just smaller versions of them. Oh. Yeah, the rate I'm going to need another rack soon. No idea where to put it. Might have to lose the coffee table and another DVD rack. In other words, it might have to go there. I really don't want that electric bill though. It's quite scary at the moment. I've got 20 long on the kitchen table. 20 long is a cool tank. Yeah, most of my tanks are well under 20. As I was joking in Chris's stream that just ended, is it just me that breeds crebensis in a 5-gallon? Yeah, I know. Fish Room Fever, hello James, welcome. And been a while. Hope all is well with you. Sorry I keep missing your streams, but you know, time difference is on. I could stick it on and let the ghosts watch, I suppose. But I do catch the replays. Speaking of cribs, the ocellatus in the top right tank, one that you basically can't see. You probably won't see any fish in there anyway, because no. I've got a funny feeling there's a load of eggs been laid behind the filter. My biggest tank is the one behind me, which is a 50-gallon. But in the UK, we generally just have smaller tanks because we have smaller houses. Yeah, it's... Hello, Diddy. Yeah, good to see you too, James. And actually, well, we've got a few people here. You may notice a different button. There is, in fact, a join button, or should be now, because I actually figured it out, how to set up memberships. Now, there's nothing posh there, or there's no special emojis or anything like that at the moment, because my tech level, not good enough for that yet. Anyway, it'd take a lot of working out. And I set it as one tier, Zach friend, Zach being Floofy Cat, 99p a month, whichever that works out doing sense, which is probably about $1.25 in American dollary dues. So, yep, get that announced. I have memberships. Yeah, if you want to, go for it. If you don't, nah, I'm not going to hold it against you. Yeah. Just trying to avoid finding a job as long as I can, really. Yeah, so I think that's about all we got. Uh-oh. What are you doing down there, little Lemia? Oh, hang on, back in a moment. No, it's all right. I thought one of my Lemia had died, but it's not. It's just having a sleep at the bottom. Gills and fins are still going, so hopefully all is okay. If it's still there in 2 hours' time, then I'll get worried. But yeah, so biggest tank is that behind me, which is a 50-gallon. You know, glass needs a clean on that again. Yeah, that is the problem when you have clown loaches in the tank that kill. When did I turn? During the week, and it got approved, but you know, I might have not done something right. It might be because I haven't set up the emojis. It's not putting it up there. I also turned on the super thank, whatever the hell that is. I have no idea. Yeah. So the problem with clown loaches is they eat all your snails, which means you get a lot more algae on the glass. And the bristly noses aren't doing a great job of cleaning it up. Yeah, so I'm a little worried with the Limias because I did have the one that died for no apparent reason last week. And I really don't want to be having endangered species die on me if I can help it. Have fun, Lisa. Don't overdo it. I know how easy it is to. Platy that zooms about, yep. Platies are nuts. They're almost as nuts as Corys. Corys are just completely insane. They always have been. They always will be. I mean, if I had £1 for every time I saw a post on Facebook of a video of my Cory is acting weird, and it's just being a Cory. No, it's just Corying. Just Corying about. It'll soon go back to sleep. Don't worry. It'll go zoom, 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 zoom. That's what they do. In between zoomies and snoozies, they sometimes have gentle trundling about time and stirring up all the substrate. And I really do need to get a backdrop for that tank because, yeah, it's just a white glow. You can't really see anything. But there we go. So what else have happened this week? So obviously fishtoberfest, which is, I'm guessing, where most people probably are. They're either there or watching a stream about it. Hope they're all having fun and they don't get any nasty con cruds, as it were. Everyone's masked up, so it does seem to be fairly sensibly sorted and running. Yeah, so I've had a really quiet week. There's really not been a lot going on. Oh, no, we're okay. Lemmy has moved. So when we, so I've not seen Mary today, which one? Yeah, saw Mary on Friday because Nadine is the mold is going to a concert this evening. So yeah, Mary didn't want to have to be zooming about everywhere trying to pick people up and whatever. And then yeah, so we got together Friday, which is when I got the pardon me, lemon blue eyes. And while we're in the shop, a fairly vegan, well-known shop, Haven Garden Centre. Now, it might just have been because it was a weekday and the guys who really know this stuff aren't in on Friday afternoons. It was around about lunchtime. But I asked if they had or could get any Limia perugiae, because I've got females, I'd like a male. I said, can you get Limia perugiae? And the first guy goes, is that a plant or a fish? It's a fish. What's the common name? Limia perugiae. Go ask whatever the other guy's name was. He might be able to help you with that. Go ask him, and he goes, is that a plant or a fish? You're like, oh, great. What's the common name? Yeah. When you go to a fish shop to ask about a fish and they don't know the fish exists. But then, it's if they're not the fish keepery types themselves, they may well not. It is a kind of rare and endangered species, so kind of makes sense that they might not know. But I just thought it was kind of funny. Sounds like I'm out of luck. I'm always out of luck. If it weren't for bad luck, I'd have no luck. Yeah, I'm not the kind of person to drop a penny and pick up a pound. I'm the kind of person to drop a tenner and find a cigarette butt. But hey, I shall try at some of the larger shops where I say larger, the one that I'm doing the multi-part tour of. I'll ask there and another couple of locals where the people are more likely to have actually heard of these things. It's one of those where I literally just want one male or maybe a pair. They're probably going to have to order 50 of them or something. And then they probably won't sell them very quickly, and I'll end up with tons and tons of fry and going, yeah, we ain't sold the last ones yet. Hello, Kerry. How are you? There's Kerry of Science Galactics, if you didn't know. And I will say I suck with names, so if I forget yours, don't be offended. I forget my own name some days, so there we go. Oh, heck, most days I forget whether I've eaten anything or not. I mean, you wouldn't think so by the size of me, but you got a Red Bull too. Yeah. Cheers. I'm expecting it probably has less of an effect on me than it does on you, though. But there's a lot more of me to spread out the Red Bull through. See, we're all fishy people here, so I'm trying to keep it fishy related. And I haven't really had that much interesting going on. And I suppose I could always start a beef with someone. That's how I have so much energy. Yeah, no. My body runs on the three main food groups: sugar, caffeine, and nicotine. I can do without the other stuff, but as long as I got them. It's slight caffeine addiction, to the point where sometimes if I'm struggling to sleep, it's because there's not enough caffeine in my system. It's been known more than once for me to struggle to sleep or wake up after 2 hours going, ugh. Drink a large can of Red Bull or Monster or Relentless or whatever, still not sponsored, and then just go back to sleep. Starting PVC air system with linear pump today. You don't need to hug yourself, Dee. You can have a hug. Heard you talk. No one would ever talk trash about you, James. Not with that awesome blue beard. I mean, I didn't think you were that old that you got a blue rinse, but you know. Or is that just a UK thing where old ladies with white hair dye it pale blue to try and cover up the fact that it's white or grey? Yeah. Yeah, that don't work. If you're going to do it, go for something bright and loud. Oh, yeah, so linear air pump PVC. I salute you. I'm still on Eheim and Tetra with just loads and loads of silicon tubing going everywhere. And a couple of gang valves. Gang valves. I know what some of you are like. If I say the word gang, you think something else is coming afterwards. Right, to be fair, it probably usually is, but there we go. Yeah, James got that one. James knows what I'm like. I'm a professional troll. I even troll myself. Hey, Don, wish you could be in Portland. Yeah. Me too, actually. You know, I was actually thinking about it earlier. I say earlier, some point this week. Places I would actually like to visit in the States. And it occurred to me that none of them are major cities. I don't want to go to LA or New York or Chicago or Seattle. Or, you know, I don't want to go to any of the big cities. The small town wilderness type areas would be far better for me. Somewhere, if you see someone carrying a gun, it's because they're going hunting or they're just coming home from hunting. Not because they're worried they're going to be shot buying groceries. And hey, I say that as someone who lives in a part of the UK where guns are fairly regular things around here. Yeah. It wouldn't be a weekend. Well, this time of year, it wouldn't be a Sunday morning if you didn't hear shotguns going off after morning. Tennessee does sound like a good place. Now, I hear Chattanooga is especially haunted as well. So I could. I mean, I assume Bob may have told you, but apparently I am a member of the Tennessee Fish Mafia UK branch. So it'd be good to visit the HQ of the Fish Mafia. Do a ghost tour around Chattanooga and anywhere else that's haunted. Visit all your cool local fish shops. Not be able to buy anything because, you know, it's going to die before I get it home. Need to start running heaters soon. So open up some of the outlets. Oh, bless. Hubby gave up the man cave. Oh, wow. I haven't given up my man cave for my fish yet. Oh, pardon me. Other places, Pennsylvania. Was it Pennsylvania? Yeah, Pennsylvania, West Virginia. And not so I can just go and find myself a mountain mama. Yes, I've bred cribs in a 5-gallon Don. I can show you if you like. A bit algified at the moment, but you know. So the one that just zoomed to the back, the female, is the breeding female. The breeding male is underneath the filter. And that's the last brood. Arizona. Yeah, I'll say this. Got a really nice dog house in exchange. Yeah, so this is it. I would go to the places that are, quieter, more actual America than a big city. Because going to, say, New York or California or Los Angeles or any of the big cities, I might as well just go to London because it's going to be exactly the blooming same. Just London will have better weather. Hello, Danny boy and Mr. Bob. How the devil are yous? And if you're looking at saving money on running your fish room, Mr. Daniel Keeping Fish did a video on it earlier this week where he goes through ways you can save some pennies, insulations and stuff like that. Something going on. Not entirely sure what. We'll find out later. Find out if we need a poop emoji or not. Yeah, as I say, this is it. I was talking about the fish mafia and the codfather turns up. As I say, I may well be stealing some ideas from that, Dan. So, mainly because it's getting bloody hot in here. I mean, for those that don't know, I don't like the heat. So at the moment, to me, outside temperature is perfect. Mid-teens in C, centigrade, Celsius, whichever it is. So it's like I want to have the doors and windows open to get the fresh and the cool air in. But if I do, all that happens is the electric bill goes up because the tank heaters come on more regularly. So it's kind of damned if I do, damned if I don't. Yeah, I'll say obviously good for the planet as well, but mainly pockets. I mean, first thing I've done is I've literally just dropped the temperature in all the tanks by a degree or a couple. You can't. You set them and you go, yeah, that's all right, and you don't really pay much attention. And you go, actually, that one's running at 28. That could be down at 25. Yeah, I think it works out. I've saved myself a penny an hour or something like that. Arizona is 85. Yeah, that's too hot. That's about 25 degrees too hot for me, Don. When I went out for a walk last night after dark in my shorts and t-shirt, it was 13 degrees C, whatever that is in F. Oh, perfectly warm enough. The few people I met sort of gave me the look like, aren't you cold? Well, reach different people perhaps, but not more, and let's not do a better job. No, I mean, you did miss the obvious one of just keep cold water fish. Or less tanks, smaller tanks. Yeah, now you see, Daniel, yes, you can post the link. He's a typically English chap there. Kind of unwilling to post the links to his own stuff. I mean, I don't do it because I can't figure out the hell how, and because nobody's nuts enough to make me a moderator on their channel. Well, Chris did, but Chris is nuts, so. Oh, I may be a troll. I'm a trustworthy troll. I know where the line is. Hello, Muppet. How are you? Muppet. Stream with fishtoberfest. Yeah, I kind of did that. Yeah, it was a bit clickbaity of me, Patty, but hey, had to be done. Hello, Glitch. How are you? Yeah, I'm not averse to the occasional clickbait title, but you know, chances of me being at Fishtoberfest. Yes. Unless we have an English version that is here, basically. Yeah. Yeah. Feel free to shamelessly, blatantly plug away, Dan. Donny G is working and lurking, which is there we go, and the link to Dan's how to save money on your electric bill, basically, and kind of water bill as well. I would have thought, as you know, work out: do you need to do a 50% or a 75% water change every week? Because if you don't, why are you? And obviously, I've got tanks that do need quite considerable water changes every week. I've got two that need it twice a week. But that's because they need it. When you've got 140 bristle noses in, well, down there is a 14 gallon. It's got 140 bristle noses in it that are 3/4 of an inch long. That one's got another 140 odd bristle noses in it, and it's a 6 gallon. Yeah, I know all about gunked up filters. Yeah, they both get water changes and filter cleans twice a week. Otherwise, they just gunk solid. And a new subscriber as well. There you go, Dan. What's that? 83,033 now, something like that, Dan. I really should change my channel title to something a bit more catchy and relevant. But the thing is, I don't just do the one thing. I mean, if I did purely do fish content, I'd go with Sharpe's Aquatics. I know I haven't done a modelling video in a couple of years now, but chances are at some point the mojo is going to come back and I'll get back up there and start sticking plastic together and wiping paint on it again. So there'll be more of those. And then I've got some kind of nature videos and paranormal videos. Actually, that is something I meant to ask for the Americans in the audience. Do you have meters on your water as well as your electric, or is your water just a fixed rate every month that you pay? Hello, Priscilla. Trying to finish your water change before the X-Man gets home. Nice. So then you can spend all your time with the X-Man. Now, it's just something I wondered because I see obviously a lot bigger tanks and more of them. So I was thinking, how the heck much must the water bills be? I My water bill's fairly high, especially for one person living in the house. Thank you very much, Dee Dee. Yeah, that's a beautiful old church to visit. Myself and Mary have visited a couple of times since. We have very similar experiences. With the Reverend, who with a bit of research, we found out who he was. Reverend John Boys, who died in 1660. And then young Wilfred, who passed at the age of 11 in 1919. So while we were down there last weekend, we left some flowers on the grave. It's a family plot, so there's like 3 or 4 graves all next to each other. So we left some flowers, and I left a game of jacks, on with the little sort of cross-shaped metal things and the rubber balls. You bounce the ball, pick up jacks, catch the ball. I figured a lad who died in 1919 would know that game. So hopefully they went down well. Oh, Dee Dee's had some visitors as well. Good. I hope positive and not actually nasty, horrible, scary ones. I had a bit of a creepy one last night when I was out on my walk, but nothing bad per se, but not good either. Known all but one. That's all right then. Well, as I say, I've got 2 and I only know one of them. One of them is that little dude there. The other one is a random shadow person that actually I kind of invited home, but there's a story behind that. I might have to do a video on that. But yeah, so as I was saying, when we go to the church, Tibbetshire St Mary, it's a wonderful, serene, calm. It's just a beautiful place to be. You just feel the serenity and the calmness just flowing through you, pretty much. But this last time we went, when we left, because you can't park the car in the graveyard. Being an old ruined country church is not really a car park as such. It's just a small lay-by parking space. It's basically the entrance to the field. And yeah, there's something else there as well. I've seen and read stories of a man who got run over by a car and killed just outside the church. And we experienced him as well. He's not a happy, positive kind of. We basically came back to the front of the car completely covered in flies and a bad feeling. Hello, Amber. Oh dear, stuck at work. Slow bar. Oh, yeah. Big hugs. Daniel Hibber. Hello, Daniel. Thoughts on Maidenhead, Norwich? How to put it? Good shop. The people in there know what they're talking about generally. Give decent advice. Fish are healthy. It's normally quite well stocked. Small and cramped, but hey, it's the UK, so most shops are. The only real downside is the prices. They are expensive. Yeah, but then I think that's probably the Maidenhead thing. And as it's in Knot Cuts as well, they've probably got fairly high rates, rental rates to pay. Yeah, I'll say I get fish from there. I've not had an issue with the fish from there. Apart from the pair of pistos I had that died basically exactly a month after I got them, both on the same day. for no apparent reason. Oh, Dee Dee's got a video on spooning. That I'm interested in. That is a good interesting. Ooh, I have to watch Dee Dee spooning. Bob started using gravity with the Python when he can because it saves water. One of the reasons I don't use a Python is because our water is all metered. Even what we pour down the sink. So if I take a bucket of water out of these tanks, walk 6 feet, maybe 10 feet, pour it down the sink, I pay for the sewage. Or I can walk 3 feet and chuck it out the back door and pay nothing. Yeah. I can't imagine you'd be quiet for much longer in there, Amber, especially once people realise that you're in there. All the men will be coming in going, how you doing? Trying to get your number. Yes. I kind of figured, Daniel. I thought, you'd probably recognise me, actually. I'm in there fairly regularly. I say regularly, I'm in there. Yeah, I was saying, prices, as I figured, you're probably stuck with this is what we charge for this. So, yeah, it's just how it is. There we go, you see. Probably even more recognisable with a mask on and going, do you want any cribs? Okie dokie, Bob. If I remember, I shall do. I'll say you recognise me. That tank came from you. What other ones did? Did one of the flex? I think one of the flexes came from you. Bunch of the plants, the wood that's in there did. I've bought a whole load of stuff from you guys. Yeah. So when I say I've got a YouTube channel, I'm not lying. I do. I even have some people randomly turn up to watch me. Might take X-Man to the park later so we can ride his scooter. Awesome. Scoot like the wind, X-Man. Scoot like the wind. Just don't fall off. Trust me, that hurts. I'll say the one thing you guys don't stock at Maidenhead that I'd love for you to stock. Sponge and box filters, please. I know you don't make any money because they don't go wrong. They don't need anything replacing, but that's why they're popular. Does great until he looks backwards. Yeah, we've all done that. Mention it to Pete. Yeah. I think I have done in the past, but it's one of those where he was on. I'll say Pete, he is on it. He knows me, so he's on. I'm not saying he's dishonest with other people, but he's straight out with me. So yeah, he basically said, yeah, we don't stock them because there's no return sales on them. Next, people don't come back for carbon for them, or sponges or media, or the little what I call them, cartridge things that go in them. Yeah, exactly. He says it as it is, which I for one appreciate. I'd rather someone was straight up with me and just told me like it was. Yeah, and those electric blue Acaras came from you guys as well. I've had them. Actually, I think I had them before he started working there, Dan. So as Dan says, Mr. Keeping Fish. Yeah. Folk will buy that and then they'll buy other stuff. Yeah, I know you are, Dan. I recognise the picture. Because I know Pete's the manager, and the other two of you, one's got hair and one hasn't. No offence, but you know. Yeah. Not going to swear at you, Dan. Not going to swear at you, Danny boy. And the only reason I got hair is because I let it grow long. And if I cut this short, I'd be bald as a coot as well. So, you know. It's not necessarily a comb over it. It actually grows that way because it's been tied back in the ponytail for so many years. But yeah, spawning a blooming electric blue a car as you get. Mind you, I'm kind of glad I haven't got a load of them to try and move on because they've dropped in price quite considerably lately. I said I'm obviously not big, but you know, inch and a half, maybe 2 inches, and £4.95, £5 each. I was like, yeah, kind of glad I've not got hundreds of them at the moment. Now, when the electric blue Acaras are selling for less than the bristlenose plecos, it's time to get out the electric blue Acara breeding market. But yeah. So I will say, Dan, if you're ever short of bristlenoses, just give me a shout. I've got about 400 at the moment. Or cribs or cherry shrimp. I know it's store credit, but oh, the electric blue, yeah, it's they might still do well in the States. It's just, I think I got mine kind of when they were, I think they were fairly new into the country at the time. They weren't exactly common. And then everyone who wanted them got them. You know, they were still fairly pricey. And being cichlids, quite a lot of people have probably accidentally bred them and dropped the price. I mean, I happened to buy the 3 that were in the tank, and they all turned out to be males. And one of them turned out to be Donkey, who liked to keep swimming into things and eventually brained himself, I think. Donkey, because he kept donking his head on things. And the other 2 are fine and completely calm and placid. And here's where I put my hand up and it just goes zooming off. See, if I'd have done that with Donkey about, he'd have swum straight into the tree stump. Hey, you got there, little happy Cara? Yeah. Hey, Missy Molly? Oh, there's Spotty. Yeah, I'll say that is one of the things that does bug me about the. Well, I say it bugs me a bit about the UK laws. I understand why the laws are in place for bigger animals, you know, cats, dogs, that kind of thing. People breeding and trying to sell. Rightio, catch you later, Daniel. Shouldn't think it'd be too much longer. Unless you got any Linea Perugio males in, because then I'll be in ASAP. So I definitely want one of them. But yeah, as I say, it's the way the UK's laws are is pretty much if you want to sell the fish to a pet shop, you need a pet shop license yourself. which costs about £400 a year. Fortunately, Breckland, the council I'm in, has slightly different rules. So I can sell to shops in Breckland for cash, not a problem. Problem is there's only one. I'm thankful it's the largest one, so they sell a lot of fish. But I say, because store credit is, you know, not knocking it. Store credit's great. There might not be anything you want. You know. Okie doke, Dee. Again, take it steady. Don't overdo it. Always good to catch you too. And a hug is nice as well. I never say no to hugs. Well, I do sometimes from some people. And if I'm in a bad mood, no, I don't want a hug. But most of the time, hugs are good. Hello, S. You've been lurking. You see, I saw orange chromide and thought you were talking about models. I thought orange chromide is yellow chromate, the primer that they used on World War II American fighter planes. Orange chromide cichlids. Possibly, but as I don't tend to keep many, well, he says, don't keep many cichlids sitting in front of, sitting surrounded by tanks with lots of cichlids in. I tend to keep the smaller ones, so I don't tend to look that much. I'm guessing they're one of the larger Africans of some description. Here's where I'm completely wrong. Oh, good. Hugs rock. If you're interested in salty stuff, check out the latest store tour. Yeah. And the next time I go there, it will be the burn it with fire section. So if you are scared of snakes, spiders, lizards, alligators, you might not want to watch that one. Middle Eastern. So, would they be an Egyptian mouth brooder kind of thing? I mean, part of the Middle East is technically Africa, so I weren't far out. And possibly banning shot of a wild Mary. Yeah. There's another wild Mary in the next store tour as well, which is the one I got the Limia and the Skiffia from. And we're not calling them sawfin Skiffia anymore because that's a silly name because they haven't got sawfins. Either ow, 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 saw, or saw. As they're a multi-punctata, and the cordopunctatas are known as cordopunks, the Skiffia multi-punctata from now on is known as multi-punks. And that's a far cooler name. Why? Because Sharpe said so. Yes. I mean, bless Mary. She's like, I'll go and shoot a video and she'll just disappear somewhere. I'm not. You don't have to like run away. I don't want to be in the way. It's like, you're not. You might just be in the background, but it's not a problem. Bless her. Well, people are far more likely to want to see her face than mine. That's for sure. I'm not so sure about the voice because she is Broad Suffolk. Bless. Assume they would be mouth brooders. They're a little different from the African Rift Lakes. Yeah, it's. I'm not. I can have a look, but I'll add it to my list of things to look out for. Not that it'll help you much if I go, SS, I found some orange chromite cichlids. Because, you know, shipping. A lot of typing at work. Oh dear. I once typed up a book and then decided against it. It was me writing a horror story that scared me. When I got through writing it and got someone to read it, the general consensus was, that's too scary. Howdy, Ricky. I'll be animals and movies. You're right. You didn't miss much. Just random waffle as usual. The occasional light gag. Not that type of gag. Although Marritt's not here, so I might be able to get away with those kind of jokes without getting caught. Boss is forgiving. Had to go and help pull Grandad out of a hole. Oh dear. Oh dear. That's a video in itself there, Ricky. My grandfather fell in a hole. You ever see Marritt? I didn't. Why on earth is my YouTube not telling me that Marritt put up a video? I shall have to watch that shortly. And I shall be keeping a very careful eye on reflections in tanks. Although I have warned her about that in the past and she is aware. So, I mean, I have to ask Ricky, but how and how deep? Because if you could make out that you were digging a well, that would be an epic movie or an epic video. Get one of the dogs called Lassie. What's that? Grandad's fallen down the well? And that will only stick to anyone probably older than me. I don't think anyone younger than me was probably watching Lassie when it was on TV. Or The Littlest Hobo. Walking in the woods and didn't see the hole. Oh dear, 5 foot deep. Oh, ow. Did well not to hurt himself. If I fell into a 5 foot hole, I'd probably break half my bones. I'm hoping a naturally occurring hole. How deep is your grams? Oh dear. Dan. Don't make me start singing bad versions of Bee Gees songs. I really need to know. Oh, no, I'm not singing Bee Gees songs. I mean, I get demonetized not because of the copyright, just because of the state of my singing voice. No one would want their product associated with my voice. Mind you, I wonder how many adverts that get shown during my life, either during, before, after, or when they go up. My live stream actually realise that the person in the stream is smoking heavily and drinking energy drinks. Ooh, Rogue menthol filter. How deep is your grams? That's going to be stuck in my blimmin' head now. I'm going to, yeah. Still not sponsored. Yeah. Come on, either Gold Leaf, well, be William Morris, Red Bull, or Monster. Anyone wants to do a sponsored video? Ugh, bless me. Or Pirates. Benadryl. When I was coming at the stream, ad at the beginning. Yeah, there should be an ad at the start. I don't think it puts them in during the stream until it actually goes up. Super glue. Yeah, no, I definitely don't need a super glue sponsor. The less I'm around super glue, the better. I know I've glued myself back together a few times with it. But that scar there is from where I super glued my head to my bloody workbench. Yes, if you're not familiar with that story, I super glued my head to a bench. Accidentally, of course. Wouldn't be a random dumb Sharpe incident if I didn't do it accidentally. There's J Rock. He's doing stuff again. How you doing, buddy? Yeah, I could change my channel name. J Sharpe doesn't do stuff. J Sharpe CBA. How to live your life with zero motivation. Do you suffer with low motivation, low ambition, fairly useless skill set for the workplace? Do you struggle with technology? Be like Sharpe. Oh, setting up a 29. Oh, see what I'd call a big tank. Yeah, 29 would be my second biggest tank. Weirdly, the only tank I've got a canister on is actually my second biggest tank. 64 litres got canister on it. The 200's got an internal and a box filter. 200 litres, 64 litres, not gallons. 64 litres is, well, when you add in the amount of water and the filter, it's 20 gallon. We'll call it 20. I'll glue myself to myself dozens, if not hundreds of times, Ricky. Yeah, that just... the times I've been working on a model kit, doing the fine, fiddly photo etched brass parts, the real fine detail brass bits, lost a part, couldn't find it for the life of me. It's like pinged out the tweezers, and found it later stuck to my arm or my forehead or belly button or something like that. 255s, 40, 37, 2 9-gallon flexes. Oh dear. So I've got 1 9-gallon flex and I've got 2 of the 15s. The 32 would be awesome, but you know, I think at the moment another rack is probably more likely than another display tank. Yeah, I've not super glued that part together. I have spilt super glue on my trousers or pants and burnt myself because it caught fire. Yeah, if you spill super glue, don't wipe it up with tissue paper, because the tissue paper will start smouldering and catch fire in the bin. Don't ask me how I know that. Same if you're building little balsa wood model planes. Don't glue that together with super glue either. This goes up in flames. It's an exothermic reaction. What if 15s and they should have fit, but I think it's actually ½ inch bigger than the box says. Oh, they've given the internal dimensions, haven't they? Not the external. Yeah, that would make sense because it's 1/4 inch glass, isn't it? I think. Have I got a measuring stick? I do have a measuring stick. Ugh. That one's in English and American. No, it's 1/3 of an inch glass, so yeah, interesting. So yeah, proper metal or steel ruler made in England. Rustless chrome. And I see you've got the measurements and the temperature to measure at. Shows you it's accurate. 20 degrees C. Being a steel ruler, if it's warmer than that, it'll expand. If it's cooler, it'll contract. Dan superglued himself to a pub. I hope you didn't miss the E off the end of that. I can see putting the nameplate over the door. Yeah. Well, at least you left your DNA in the place. Yeah. So I say the locals in Norwich, so yeah, kind of local, closest city anyway. There's a pub that's been shut for a few years. You know, lack of custom. Usual reason pubs shut. Not enough people going into them and spending money. So the council have decided, yeah, what we'll do is we'll turn it into flats or a house or and now the campaign for real ale are campaigning to stop the pub from being turned into flats. Not been a pub for like 3 or 4 years. Oh, Amber jinxed herself right after you typed in the chat. College girl puked all over the patio. Third Bahama Mama. You used to have a respectable job. You do still have a respectable job. You have to do things that a lot of people wouldn't do, which gets respect. You have to deal with drunk people, and you have to clear up sick. So in a way, that's not too dissimilar to working in a primary school or a kindergarten. Lots of clearing up bodily misfunctions and dealing with people with the IQ of a 4-year-old who just want to fight. Now, I'm taking it this isn't another Hooters. Because isn't it a bit early to be drunk and hurling your guts up over there already? Because if you're hurling everywhere at 2 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon because you've had too much to drink, you kind of peaked too early. Or you timed it right so the hangover will clear before you have to go to work on Monday. there might be some genius lurking in there somewhere. Not speaking of which, yo Anthony, how you doing? Sunday's what people do. I don't. I forget the last time I got drunk on a Sunday. I mean, I was probably still drunk from like Wednesday or something like that. I hadn't sobered up yet, but yeah, I haven't drunk alcohol for many moons. When we started coming out of lockdown, the thing everyone was really looking forward to was being able to go back to the pub again. I'm thinking, you just managed for a year at home, drinking. Why? You don't need to go back to the pub to get drunk, unless that's the only time they ever see their friends. It's like you can now mingle. Your friends can come over to your house, or you can go over to their house. I don't know. Let's put it this way: I gave up drinking and then managed to pay my mortgage off 8 years early. So, yeah. A lot of the service industry is very busy. It is. I still don't know why, but it is. So the other week I was actually working out. I haven't had fast. Now, being a Brit, I don't count fish and chips as fast food. Right? That's not like going out for fast food. So I haven't had like a McDonald's or a Burger King since November 2019. It's coming up to 2 years since I had a McDonald's. But yeah, I'm trying to think how long is it since I stopped drinking? 20. Yeah, I've been sober 19 years. I'm drug free for 7. Yeah, 7-ish. And that's the reason I can't remember much of the 1990s or the early 2000s. I was either drunk or surfing the edge of the galaxy. Yeah, home, yeah. 0 credit cards, debit card, yeah. Well, it's been a couple of months since I've even been out for fish and chips. Yeah, the way things are these days, it's so hard for anyone to even get onto the property ladder because the rental prices are just ludicrously high. When I bought my place, the rental for somewhere this size, if I'd wanted to rent this house, the rent would have been less than the mortgage payment was. But these days, the people who can afford it buy the second house and then rent it, but use the rental income to pay the mortgage and then a bit more. So it's cheaper to get the mortgage, but because people have to rent, they can't afford to save to get the mortgage. It's just ludicrous. Perhaps we should bring in some kind of limit that people and companies aren't allowed to own more than a certain amount of homes, like 1. Imagine that, you're only allowed to own 1 house. How many people would that upset? Anyone who owns more than one house. Especially, well, not around here, but up on the Norfolk coast especially, it would cause problems. Because that's mostly holiday homes. And one of the problems we had during lockdown, people leaving London and coming up to Norfolk to go to their holiday home and then getting caught and getting fined £1,000. Yes, the rules are there, bloody follow them. Best way to cover up a hole in the ground. Depends if you want to make a trap, Ricky, or whether you want to stop people falling in it. If you want to stop people falling in it, stick some posts around it and rope it off. Pretty much. Other than that, thin branches crossed over with some leaves scattered on the top might catch a Sasquatch. Probably more likely to get done for stick a granddad in it. Yeah, I mean, I would say put a sign up that says caution hole, but someone would trip over the sign and fall in the hole. You know what people are like. It's like, put the signs out in the shop because the floor's wet, and guarantee someone will trip over the bloody sign. What's that doing there? I didn't see it. It's a dirty, bright yellow sign that says caution wet floor on it. It was not looking. They might like fall in it trying to cover it up. Yeah, you probably would, Ricky. You'd probably be trying to put someone over and just overbalance slightly and go in head first. If you do go to cover it up, make sure to take your mobile phone with you, so you can at least contact someone else. They can get you out the hole. Or just stick a ladder in it. Then if people fall in, they can climb out again. That's an idea. Is it just a hole, or is it an entrance to a cave system that's hitherto undiscovered? Or has someone been trying to trap something or bury someone? Tie yourself off to the nearest tree. Yeah, you know what would happen to me, Dan, if I did that? I'd fall in the hole and the tree would fall in after me. Or I'd end up dangling by a rope around my waist going, oh, I can't get out. Yeah, pretty much what I used to do as well, Jay. I mean, our idea was maybe we can catch an animal. But of course, the holes were too small to catch anything in. Or anything that might have got caught in it was too light to go through the cover. It was an old well. So Grandad did fall down a well. Quick, call Lassie. There's a distinct lack of things like wells around here. So you get all this, see all this talk on the things about people being on well water for their fishes. And so all the houses I've lived in, there's only one that had a well. And that was purely because there was a stream that ran straight under the house. Yeah, and I'll say exactly, yeah, if we fell down a hole now, we'd probably break something. But don't. Yeah. it'd be like either Warner Bros. Cartoon or it'd be more like the bloody Simpsons. I'd fall in the hole, the tree would fall in, then something would explode. Absolutely nothing there to explode, but something would. I suppose at least I don't live somewhere that there's a lot of unexploded ordnance around the place. I mean, even to this day, can you imagine being a farmer in like northern France? You're ploughing your field, and every time you plough your field, you could hit an unexploded bomb or mine or something from World War One or World War Two. I would have thought they'd probably found them all by now, but you never know. Actually, I wonder how many corpses or skeletons they find now. Just farmers doing their farming and accidentally dig up a dead soldier. Probably fairly regular. Oh, pardon me. Hick burps. Yes. You fall in, call someone, they'd fill the hole in. It's bury you alive. Yeah. Yes. I've read that story many a time. This is not a good way to go. Hence why a lot of the vampire myths came about. Someone would be in a coma or something, they'd think they were dead, they'd bury them, then they'd wake up in the coffin. People would hear noises. Obviously, the person would then die and suffocate in the coffin. And when they came, dug the coffin back up, yeah, it's covered with scratch marks and their fingernails are bloody, and yeah. No wonder there's some creepy stories associated with that kind of thing. Oh, that's got to be pareidolia. I didn't just see a face reflected in that tank. Oh, it'd only be shadow. Wouldn't be a problem. Although, speaking of which, as I say, the encounter I had last night on my walk. Now, I like to go for my walks after dark. It's one reason I like this time of year. Variety of reasons. It's quieter, less people about, and no one sees me out of breath, red, huffing, puffing, and sweating. Yeah. Well, I went on quite a long walk. Well, for a lazy fat git like me, anyway, it's a long walk. It's about 4 miles. And part of it, but it takes me down through the water meadows, which is kind of creepy anyway. And we go up over the dual carriageway, main road A11. And then there's a bridle path along the side of the road, which about halfway down dips down out of sight of the road into a wood. It's where I filmed the video of the river. As I was walking along there, my spidey senses were tingling. Something was behind me. You just get that feeling that something's watching from behind. So I think I don't jump straight to paranormal, right? I've got my torch. It's not on, but I've got the torch. So turn the torch on, turn around. There might have been someone else walking along there, walking their dog or something, but no one there. Walk another couple hundred yards, still feeling it. Turn around, check again. Still, there's no one there. It's not a bad feeling. It's not a good feeling. It's that feeling that you're being watched. And the fact that I'm walking along at a fair old clip, because I'm doing a 4-mile walk in less than an hour. And I checked twice, and I'm walking through the last sort of half of it, so a quarter of a mile or so. You're walking on a narrow pathway through the woods. I say woods, a few trees, but yeah, it's a wooded area, overgrown, and the trees grow over the path. So there's no light. Still walking along without my torch on, because just about enough reflection from moonlight and starlight for me to pick out where the path is. And it followed me all the way down there. I could feel it literally until I stepped out of the woods into the lights at the junction at the end, and then it stopped. So I mean, there was nothing happened as such. It was just there's something watching me. Now, could it have been an animal? Quite possibly. Would an animal have followed me along there for half a mile, especially when I'm turning around and flashing a torch at it? I would have seen the eye shine from the light in the torch, and I didn't. Poor girl stumbled, took out an entire table and chair sets in the curbside, waiting an Uber, going back to the hotel and drink some water. But hashtag bartending life. That's the way it is. Well, now on the upside, at least she's not hitting on you, Amber. But you've probably been there, done that. Let's be honest, we probably all have. Have I ever seen a ghost car? I haven't. I've not actually. I've not even actually seen what you'd call an apparition. I've seen plenty of shadow figures, but not the classic white ghostly outline, see-through shape. And I know there are stories of ghost cars. And my theory from who knows, from my experience last night, is it's probably someone, because that road before it got duelled was pretty hairy and scary and pretty dangerous. It's the main road from like London to Norwich, and all traffic is doing 70 miles an hour along there minimum. And there are blind junctions, or were blind junctions, coming out of the woods either side. So there's been a lot of accidents, and quite a few people have died down there. So that's what I'm thinking. Tourists never understand, make the drinks strong. Yeah, I remember you saw that, Dan. That kind of freaked you out a bit, didn't it? I'm saying I'm not knocking you. I'm not saying I don't believe you. Like all these things, until I've experienced it myself, I'm not going to say yay or nay. This way, I can say I don't believe in the paranormal. I know this exists. I know, because I've experienced it, that this is real. This is real. I've not experienced that, so I can't be 100% sure. That's the weird scientific part of my brain coming in and thinking about spiritual stuff. Yeah, I'm weird. Yeah, you did have your experience, kind of shook you up a little, if I remember rightly. Yeah, fruity drinks will destroy you, and you don't know they contain alcohol. That was one of my problems, Amber, is I could. Again, the no sense of smell, weird sense of taste means I can taste the alcohol. No. Probably because I don't like the taste of the fruity stuff. Yay, butterbean's healthy again. Oh, lots of loves and fusses. Ricky sees the ghost car all the time. You should see if you can get picture or video of it, Ricky. I say the more proof that the more proof that is available, the better, really. There are enough people doing spoofs or pranks or just faking it, and that just ruins the case for the rest of us. But yeah, so happy that Butterbean's back and healthy. It wasn't that you were driving along and it was getting close. You let it overtake you, went around the corner, you went around the corner, and it wasn't there anymore. There were no like turning offs or anything. It just like overtook you, went around the corner and disappeared. Something like that, wasn't it, Dan? If I remember rightly. Which would lead me to believe that someone in the past did a very similar or the same overtaking maneuver, didn't see the corner and went wee clump, crunch, boom, dead. That's what I would think happened, is they messed the corner up and ended up hitting the tree the other side of the road or something like that. So yeah, if you've never experienced anything like it, it would be a bit shake you up. But again, like the video I did, you sit, you think about it, and you realize there's no reason to be scared. The very worst thing that could have happened is that car could have drove through your car. That would have been even freakier. But you might then have crashed from the experience, but that'd be a definite pull over and have a cigarette. Calm down a bit. Oh. Now, Amber is going from badass better babe to crazy cat lady. And I don't think badass better babe is a bad one to come up with off the top of my head, to be honest. Good channel name as well. Oh, so he's single. No, I've got 4 cats. Bless him. Yeah, but you see, if that had been me, I've got, you single? No, I've got 4 cats. Oh, great, I love cats. I've got the ghost cat. I'd have got my phone out and started showing you pictures of cats. I used to creep people out anyway. I don't even have to try. And I just have to take the glasses off and smile. There you go. That's enough creeping people out. Oh, poor little Butterbean. Don't let her see me smoking then. I don't want to scare her. But yeah, sending fusses for all the pretty cats and treats. Friends won't come to your house because it's haunted. Sweet, I would. Wouldn't bother me in the slightest. Howdy, Scott. As I said, I've lived in plenty of. I don't really like the term. It's weird. A lot of the terms used for the paranormal I don't like. a haunted house. It just, the vision you get when you say a haunted house is that Hollywood haunted house movie kind of vision. You know, the kind of decrepit picket fence, overgrown yard. I'm not sure what other term I would actually use rather than haunted house. Yeah, as I say, I don't like the I believe in ghosts thing either, because it just doesn't cover really. Yeah, bless bartending. Well, got to say, I'd rather tend bar than make pizza. Went to Petco to pick up some bits and got four turquoise rainbows. Yeah, yeah. That is the fish equivalent of the going into a model shop to get some paint and coming out with a bunch of new kits as well. Yeah. At least with the model kits, you don't really have to find somewhere for them to live. You can just chuck them in a pile somewhere. But yeah, as I say, I'm pretty much full now. Just one more. Oh, someone's out. Actually out and about. You can see my new additions. Pair, well, I say pair. There's only one out and about, but oh no, the other one's on the bottom of the sponge filter. No, go that way. Somewhere around. Just visible in the bottom corner is one of the lemon blue eyes. Little bristly noses. Pink ram's horns. That way we want to go, don't we? Trying to figure out which direction to move the bloody camera. It's back to front, and I'm doing it the wrong way around. And you can just see, I think that's the female at the front, and the male is underneath, munching on the sponge filter. Scott does that too, yeah. And then, you know, just a few little mollies, little molly wallies, and somewhere in there is get the camera level. Go back to front, upside down. Somewhere hiding up in there is a little baby male apisto as well. Well, I haven't seen him yet today, so I hope he's not an ex-apisto. I'm actually going to have a quick check. That house built in 1885. It's not a surprise there might be something else living in there. Anyone seen or heard from Sean? I haven't, not in quite a long time. And last time I sent a message, he said he was okay, but I've not heard from him since. I might send him another message. Yeah. I know he was having some troubles, same as me. Last I heard, he was doing okay. There's little baby Pisto gone. Where are you hiding at, mister? Yeah, I know you guys want food. You always want food. There's... Oh, this is the problem with these, is I can't blooming see very well where the things are. Oh, are you snoozies down there, are you? I think he's just doing snoozies. We shall double check. because the last thing we want to do is leave a dead fishy in a tank. Find a suitable poking device. That'll do. You know down there, little dude? Hey? Yeah, he's moving about, he's alright. Phew. It's one of those things, when a fish suddenly goes missing, you start panicking. But no, he's there, he's okay. Lady Di, how are you, my dear? I say, yeah. Don't forget to set up a shell dweller tank. Yeah. I'm having a lazy day. Lazy days are always good. I've had a lazy day today. I've really done nothing. Well, Sean's not going to show us Shelley's. We're going to have to put up with some of mine. And these ones are likely to get sold. Don't tell them that. These are 5 adults. But for some reason, they're not really producing any fry. So, whereas these ones, which are all sub-adults, got loads of fry in there. The little ones all over the place. Top of the mornings. How do you bother? Now the camera's going to do that weird. I'm not going to focus. There we go. Top of the morning. There's one thing I'm definitely not, it's Irish. We're going to figure out where to put the turtle pond at for the winter. Somewhere warm. And Anthony Shelley's are breeding. Good. I think Shelley's do kind of pair up, don't they? It's kind of a pair up for life dealy. And I may well have sold, because I have sold quite a few of them. I may well have accidentally sold one half of each pair. But yeah, if I sell the ones out the flex, I will then move those guys into the flex, which give me an extra fry rack tank for baby fish. Because I'm going to be a bit stuffed if everything starts breeding, let's be honest. Pardon me. And so we've got another 100 odd bristle noses in there already. More like some cultures where a man has multiple wives. So Shelley's are Mormons then, are they? Is that what you're trying to say? Well, for whatever reason, they've stopped breeding. I mean, I did see a fry in there last week, but I think that got eaten because I haven't seen it since. Yeah, for some reason, these guys just stopped spawning. So I'll. Rick is Mormon. We don't do that no more over here. There we go. Right, let's try and think of another one. Yeah, anywhere that has harems. But I mean, I think that's 1 male and 4 females in there, but I might be 4 males and 1 female. Might explain it. Yeah, so I'll clear those out, move them across, get the empty tank. Not large. We're not talking like bristlenoses or crebensis. Dozen, maybe 2 dozen at most, in my experience anyway. Um, generally about a dozen, I think. Uh, but then they are absolutely tiny, and my eyesight's not the greatest, so I don't necessarily see them straight away. So they might not necessarily get fed small enough food, so they might die. Um, but yeah, they're not crazy breeders. See you later, Ricky. Have a good one. Don't fall any holes. Yeah, about a dozen. Yeah, it's one of the fish that I can sell that I actually get a decent price on. Um, I get £2 per bristle, or £2 per shelly. So 5 is a tenner. Whereas to get the same amount of money from mollies, I would have to sell at least 20 of them. And 10 bristle noses or 7 cribs. Well, except if I get the other bristle noses start breeding the non-standards, then I'll get a bit more for those. But it's but yeah, shellies are lovely fish, and they are super easy to keep. Much better than guppies. Yeah, I mean guppies are basically live food. Let's be honest. I know people have their fancy types and names, but they're still guppies. You're not going to get much more than 10 pence for a guppy, or 10 cents, whichever. And the reason is because of all the people who have fish tanks, 90% of them aren't necessarily what I'd call hobbyists. They have a fish tank. They put some guppies in there because they're pretty. They get lots of baby guppies. They go, I ain't got enough room for all these baby guppies. And they take them to the fish store. And there's that many people doing it that the price of guppies is donk. But there's not many people keep things like shellies or some of the stranger species. Bristlenoses are always popular because most people want something to get rid of the algae in their tanks, so they get a bristlenose. We pay $20 a pair for guppies. Yeah, I know. The most expensive guppies I've seen in a fish shop were $3.95 each. I think they were some posh name, something or other. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm sorry, Diane, but there used to be 50 odd guppies in there. Then I got a bicher, and all the guppies went away. And then I had a big bicher this year, big ear, whatever you want to call it, dino fish. All the guppies went away. Then the adult then the platies disappeared. Then the adult swordtails disappeared. And one of the clown loaches disappeared. And the full-grown bamboo shrimp and the African wood shrimp as well. He had them and all. He wasn't picky. He wasn't at all aggressive. He just ate everything. Guppies are a pain to cull in a planted tank. I just stick a dwarf cichlid in a rob. Yeah. Dwarf cichlid, that'll take care of all your little guppies. And if you put 2 in, you'll get a bunch of baby dwarf cichlids as well. Just don't do cribs, because cribs are a nightmare to try and sell on. Then you might be trying to find something that will eat the cribs. Yeah. I mean, I say that, and I do realise I have got a pair of ocellatus cribs up there doing their QT. Once they're done in there, they'll be going into the new tank, and the pair of cribs that are in there and very likely to start breeding are going to come out. Yeah. So not far from saying my guppies went away. I mean, don't get me wrong, guppies are really pretty fish. They're super easy to keep. They're fun. Generally easy to catch, I find. Normally, most live bearers, I just put the net in and wait for them to swim into it. It doesn't take long. You just stand there and hold the net for 30 seconds and half of them are in the net. Good advice. Hubby is chuckling in the corner chair. Well, hello, Lord Diane, as it were. I'm guessing Lord and Lady, don't know what of. Please tell me his name's not Charles, because that would be hilarious. But yeah, so this is the thing. When it comes to breeding fish, if you're doing it for yourself, fine. Breed what you want to breed. But if you're breeding to sell, ask your local shops, the places you're likely to be selling to, whether it's for cash or store credit, whatever. Ask them what they want. Because there's no point you breeding 1,000 discus if nobody else in your area keeps discus and it's really hard water. You know, things like standard crebensis, your convict cichlids, don't bother breeding those. Because again, like the live bearers, there's thousands of them about. People buy a couple and they breed accidentally. I mean, things they always want, bristle noses. Whether it be a standard or a different color or a long fin, whatever, bristle noses. And slightly different things. So everyone's used to cribs. Well, pistos. Similar size, similar temperament, brightly coloured, super cool fish. Not, I wouldn't say they're aggressive. They get protected with their frying eggs, which I don't blame any fish for. I don't call that aggression. Your humble cherry shrimp. You might not be able to sell as many as you can breed, but you'll be able to sell some. I mean, I get the same money for a single cherry shrimp as I do for a single bristlenose. Problem is, not that many people want shrimp around here because again, we got very hard water, which means a lot of people buy the shrimp from a shop and the shrimp die. My shrimp are bred in the local water, so they're strong. They're used to it. You can stick them in a local tap water tank and they'll be fine. If you wanted, yeah, that's my bit of advice for today. If you want to breed fish, ask your local stores what they want. That's why I've got a 10-gallon with 10 salt and pepper cories in it, or Palliatus cories in it, to breed them. Yeah, cories are cool. I like cories. That's not the problem. But that's why I got that particular fish, is to breed it, because I know the shop wants those. All practice for whatever is next. Just started in May. Well, you're doing well. Well, I'm 3 years in all back end of August. That's how long I've been keeping fishies for. And the first fish I bred were platies, and I didn't realise I bred them until I sucked one up in the siphon, and the cat told me. Then it was cherry shrimp. It was actually orange sakura shrimp. Yeah, shipping is a pain. Exactly. You'll get more money if you sell your fish to the public. All you got to do is undercut the local shop. But then you got the hassle of dealing with the public and shipping, and now the people go, "Well, my fish turned up; they were dead." Can you send me a photo? Oh no, I've already binned them. I already flushed them. You know full well those fish didn't die. They're just trying to rip you off. Okay. So you're going to get less money selling direct to a store, but you've got no grief and no hassle. And yeah, as Daniel says, it's a delight as well. Seeing all the different behaviours, watching the babies grow. And say, hobbyist tank bred fish are much stronger and healthier than the ones that come in from the fish farms. I'm not saying the ones in the farms are mistreated. I'm saying the hobbyist fish, we spend a lot more time looking at our tanks or paying attention to our fish than they can in a fish farm where they've got 1 million guppies. And they can't see if they've got one that's got a bent spine or, you know, got some weird thing going on with it. We do. And if you can get locally bred fish, they're good for your water. Now, as I say, things like the pistos are a soft water fish. You know, if I can breed a pistos in my water and raise the fry, they then become fish that I use to harder water. And then their offspring will be even more used to it. And if you try putting them into soft water, you can probably kill them. But there's a lot to it. When you start thinking about these things, like, oh, my brain is melting. Why can't everything be as easy as guppies? Because then nothing will be worth much. And that's why I've got the multi-punks and the limia. So I can breed something that I know the local shops either can't get. And also I'm doing my bit for conservation. What we use 40 breed, all set up cheap, magic tank. Over Britain there breeds like crazy, hundreds of cherries. There you go. And if you talk to your local fish store, you know, so like earlier in the stream, we had Daniel from my local branch of Maidenhead Aquatics, who was actually in the stream. You know, you get to know the people in your local fish shop. You get to know the staff, and you work. It's a business relationship basically. And you look around, and you go, I haven't got any cherry shrimp in. And you go, I notice you haven't got any cherry shrimp. And I go, yeah, I know it's hard to get hold of at the moment. You go, well, I've got hundreds of them if you want some. I'll do you a good deal. And there you start. An aquascapist. You definitely don't want shellies then, Lady Di. You do not scape a shelly tank. You put sand in it, you put rocks in it roughly where you'd like them, and then you chuck a bunch of shells in there and the fish, and then you find out what scape you're going to get from 1 week to the next. It will change. Currently sat here watching them digging holes and spitting sand all over the place. They are very fun to watch, especially when they get one of the bits of lava rock in the way and they pick that up and chuck it out of the way. Yes, my local Maidenhead Aquatics. I'm not near Maidenhead in the UK, I'm in Norfolk, but there are Maidenhead Aquatics dotted all over the UK. But yeah, when it comes to aquascaping, I'm not a scaper. I just stick stuff in. If it happens to look good, it happens to look good. And that tank probably looks garbage. It's just the plants cover everything else up. That really could do with a redo at some point, but it's very balanced and settled and everything's doing rather well at the moment. Well, apart from the Acaras trying to eat the neons, but you know, these things happen. Anyway, I've reached the end of my allotted 2 hours time. I don't know if there's anyone else going on after me. There usually is someone. If not, then oh well. But thank you everyone for turning up. For some reason the membership thing isn't there, but we shall see. I shall have a look into that next week. But yeah, thank you everyone for being here. Hope you enjoyed it, at least partially. Have a good weekend, what's left of it. Enjoy your hobby. Have fun. Peace out. Rock on. Bye-bye. Sunday Sharpe, do 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 do. Sunday Sharpe, do 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 do. Sunday Sharpe, do 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 do. Ah.